Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. The bold and the beautiful world has never been short of drama, betrayal, and impulsive decisions. And this week, it seems Katie Logan might be facing her own moment of reckoning. A single call, one that Electra made without consulting her, could ignite a war that tears apart everything they've built together. But before we dive into the heart of this explosive twist, let's take a moment to remember, on the bold and the beautiful, a simple misunderstanding rarely stays simple for long. It morphs, grows, and burns through relationships faster than anyone can stop it. And this one, it could change everything for Katie, Bill, and even Electra herself. Katie Logan has always been known as the steady heart of the Logan family. Smart, loyal, and moral to her core, she doesn't act impulsively. She thinks, weighs her options, and tries to find peace amid chaos. But lately, chaos seems to find her, especially when it comes to the growing tension surrounding Electra, the newest player in this intricate chess game of love, loyalty, and deception. Electra came into the Forrester and Spencer orbit with mystery in her eyes and ambition in her heart. She wanted to belong, to be respected, and maybe even to rewrite her story after years of being underestimated. Katie, in her kind and cautious nature, extended a hand. She believed in giving people a chance, but that decision might now come back to haunt her. All because of one call Electra made behind her back. Sources in Los Angeles' fashion world whisper that Electra recently contacted a powerful investor, someone with the ability to shift control of a major Forrester Creations division. The kicker, she did it while Katie was supposed to be the one handling the negotiations. And she didn't even ask before doing it. The call wasn't just business, it was personal. Electra's move may have compromised trust. And for Katie, who values transparency above all, that's an unforgivable betrayal. Katie's quiet storm. If there's one thing longtime B&B fans know about Katie, it's that her anger doesn't explode right away. It brews, it simmers, and when it finally spills over, it's not messy. It's precise. Her words cut, not because they're cruel, but because they're true. Katie has been through it all. Bill's betrayals, Brooke's heartbreaks, Ridge's lies, and the constant tug-of-war between family loyalty and personal pride. Through it all, she's maintained grace, but that grace has its limits. And when someone undermines her authority or uses her kindness as weakness, she doesn't forgive easily. Imagine Katie sitting in her office at Forrester Creations, the late afternoon sun filtering through the blinds, her mind reeling from what she's just discovered. The documents on her desk, the ones she was meant to finalize with the investor, are already stamped approved. Electra's name is right there, listed as the one who made the call. The realization hits her like a blow. Katie doesn't yell. She doesn't even call Electra right away. Instead, she closes her laptop, stands up, and looks out the window. Her reflection stares back, calm, composed, but burning with quiet fury. She whispers, "She went over my head." Electra's perspective. Desperation or ambition. But to truly understand what's about to happen, we need to look at Electra's side of things. For her, this wasn't just about ambition. It was about survival. She's been fighting to prove herself in an environment that often dismisses newcomers, especially women who haven't yet earned their stripes. When she made that call, she believed she was doing the right thing, taking initiative, showing she could be decisive, proving that she wasn't just another pretty face in designer heels. What she didn't realize, though, was that Katie had already laid a careful plan. Every deal, every conversation, every move had a purpose. Electra's quick fix undid weeks of Katie's strategic work. So while Electra saw the call as empowerment, Katie saw it as betrayal. And in this world, Perception is everything. Bill Spencer's return to the line of fire. Meanwhile, Bill Spencer has found himself drawn back into Katie's orbit. Despite their past, the love, the heartbreak, the countless second chances, Bill can't seem to stop caring. When he hears that Katie's furious over something Electra did, he immediately jumps in, wanting to help, but here's the twist. Electra may have used Bill's name during the call. Rumors suggest she dropped his name to seal the deal, telling the investor that Bill Spencer himself supported her decision. That kind of manipulation doesn't just rattle Katie. It infuriates Bill. He storms into Forrester, ready to confront Electra, but Katie stops him. She doesn't want a scene. Not yet. She wants to understand why Electra did it. But as Bill watches her struggle to stay calm, he knows the woman he once loved is standing on the edge of a storm. This moment, this betrayal, could push Katie to a place she hasn't been in years. Ruthless determination, a brewing rivalry. Katie versus Electra, two women who once shared mutual respect, are now standing on opposite sides of a silent war. The tension between them is palpable. Every meeting becomes a minefield. Every glance feels like a challenge. Electra tries to justify her actions. Katie, I was only trying to help. You were busy, and I thought, but Katie cuts her off. Her voice low but sharp. You thought wrong. You don't make decisions for me. Not about business, and certainly not about my name. That's when Electra realizes this isn't just about one call. It's about trust, power, and pride. 3 things that don't mix easily in Los Angeles. The fallout begins. Once word spreads that Electra overstepped, Forrester's board begins to question her reliability. Ridge, always cautious about internal drama, tells Katie privately that he trusts her judgment, and if she wants Electra gone, he'll back her. But that decision isn't as simple as firing someone. Electra's actions have already tangled Katie's professional reputation with Forrester's image. Undoing that damage requires strategy, and here's where Katie shines. She doesn't lash out publicly. Instead, she quietly starts building a case. She gathers emails, call logs, and notes, showing exactly how Electra bypassed her authority. One by one, she collects the pieces of the puzzle, not to humiliate Electra, but to protect her own credibility. Behind the scenes, Bill watches with admiration. He remembers the Katie who used to cry after every betrayal. Now, she's evolved into someone powerful, composed, strategic, and unwilling to let emotion cloud her strength. Still, deep down, Katie feels the sting of betrayal. She had wanted to believe in Electra. She'd seen something of her younger self in that woman. Ambitious, eager, and full of heart. But now that reflection feels like a ghost. Electra's breaking point as the walls close in, Electra begins to spiral. She realizes that her one call may have just cost her everything. Her job, her allies, her respect, and worse. She can sense that Katie is no longer in her corner. She tries to fix things the only way she knows how, by reaching out to Bill again. She meets him privately, hoping to explain herself. But the conversation doesn't go as planned. You can't fix this by talking your way out, Bill warns her. Katie's not someone you manipulate. Trust me, I've tried. Those words hit her hard. For the first time, Electra sees herself the way everyone else does. Reckless, opportunistic, and desperate for validation. But her desperation leads to another risky move. She decides to leak a story to the press, claiming that her call was part of a larger, joint decision between her, Katie, and Bill. An attempt to paint herself as a misunderstood team player. The problem? The story backfires. The media twists it into a scandal, framing Forrester Creations as a company divided by internal betrayal. Now, Katie's forced into a corner. She can no longer keep quiet. Katie strikes back. The next morning, Forrester Creations buzzes with whispers. Reporters call non-stop. PR teams scramble. And in the middle of it all, Katie Logan steps onto the stage of the press room, ready to clear the air. She doesn't name Electra directly. Instead, she gives a masterclass in control. Her speech is precise, confident, and devastating in its implication. In business, as in life, trust is the foundation of everything we build. When that trust is broken, it isn't just a mistake, it's a choice. And every choice has consequences. Electra watches from the sidelines, realizing that Katie's message isn't just about business. It's about her. And though Katie never says her name, the entire room knows exactly who she's talking about. The power dynamic has shifted completely. Electra's once bold presence now feels small, diminished by Katie's poise and authority. Bill's confession. After the press conference, Bill finds Katie alone. He tells her that watching her take control reminded him of why he fell in love with her in the first place. She's not the fragile woman who needed saving. She's the force that makes others rise or fall. For a brief moment, old sparks ignite between them. The air thickens with unspoken history, but Katie pulls back, reminding herself that strength doesn't mean repeating old mistakes. Bill, she says softly, I've learned something from all this. I don't need to fight to be seen anymore. I just need to stand where I am. And the right people will notice. Bill smiles faintly. Then you finally become the version of yourself I always knew you could be. It's a bittersweet moment, one that hints at closure, but also the possibility of a new beginning. Electra's final gamble cornered and humiliated. Electra faces a decision. Walk away quietly,